None of the formalities that typically precede a game. No starting lineup introduction. No national anthem. We just are off to the races. And for the Coyotes, it is Tayshaun Gilchrist, David Giddens, Stephen Williams, Bryce Bracco, and Joe Brown on the floor to begin things. Meanwhile, Ian Jonigan, Isaiah Dennis, Christian Bean, and let's see who else. Prince Mensah, all on the floor. And to Jaden Davis. So those are the Bison on the floor. Bacco trying to do a balancing act to stay on the floor. But apparently the balancing act didn't work, and the Bison will have it in a 2-2 game, 1 minute in. Off the rim and window from Beam. Down the floor it goes to Giddens. And the Coyotes taking a 2-point lead early. Coyotes 0-2 on the year in conference play. Meanwhile, the Bison are 2-0. And there is something big happening today in the conference. Wallace, Hansville, and Shelton State play. So a couple of unbeatens. You got 3 unbeatens coming in Southern Union, Wallace, Hansville, Shelton State. And with 2 of the unbeatens meeting, that means you will have at least 1 knocked from those unbeaten conference rankings. And obviously the Coyotes hope it's 2. Williams makes it a 7-4 Coyote lead. In play to Davis. Mensah back over to Davis. In and out with a 3-ball from Jonigan. Those 2 conference losses for the Coyotes came to Shelton State and Bishop State in overtime. The 2 Bison Conference wins over Bishop State and Calhoun. Coyotes coming in having lost back-to-back games. Bison come in having won back-to-back game. Giddens rejected by Beam. Loose ball retrieved by Jonigan. Lean in, the lay in, the foul as well. 2 points on the board for Davis. And he might have more. It is interesting in just about every statistical category. These 2 teams are right by one another. Either the Coyotes are 1 ahead of Southern Union or vice versa. Beat with a block on the Williams try. Off on the 3 from Dennis. Into Mensah, and Mensah will lay in the 2. And what I'm talking about, to illustrate, as Beam gets another block. Wow, that's 3 blocks in less than 3 minutes. Got an offensive. But in points scored per game, Coastal South is 4, Southern Union 5. Field goal percentage. Coyotes 2, Bison 3. 3-point shooting percentages. You've got the Coyotes 3, Bison 4. How about free throw percentages? Well, Southern Union 3. I make that Coastal South 3, Southern Union 4. Rebounds a game. Coyotes 5, Bison 6. Assists per game. Coyotes 2. Southern Union 3 in the league. So you would anticipate with those so even stats that we may have a so even game. Brown for 3, off the rim. Davis with a rebound and then swatted out of bounds by Gilchrist. Put in play by Jonigan. From the charity stripe. And is missed by Dennis. Brown on the other end of the floor. He'll take it coast to coast for 2. Underneath Mensah, the lay-in. Well, you want some other oddly identical stats? Brown with a miss on the 3. Both teams have scored over 100 how many times? Well, the Coyotes twice. I guess you can guess how many times the Bison have. Twice. Timeout on the floor. It's the media break. 15:37 to play. And the visitors by 2.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
3 ball not there. Trying to get the putback was Davis. Denied but fouled. As we get back to the basketball. Davis, a 77% free throw shooter, averaging 14 points a game. All right, more oddly similar stats. Longest win streak of the year. The Coyotes 4. For the Bison 4. Longest losing streak. Bison 2. Coyotes 2. So with all those numbers so close, could we have an OT game? I don't know. Who wants to talk about OT 5 minutes into a 40-minute contest? Mensah with the lay-in. Brown sending it into the corner. And it'll be dropped in there by Joey Robertson, who has just checked into the game. And Brown apparently got a hand on Jonigan trying to reach around from the backside. I checked that. That is Bracco. And Bracco's already picked up 3 personals. He'll come out of the ball game, so too will Brown. In is Gray Williams. Dropped in from the elbow by Jonigan. Also into the game is Makai Jones. Jones into the corner, Williams. Williams bringing it baseline. Lost it in the paint, trying to get it back. A little rumble and tumble. Deshaun Powell into the game for the Bison. In on the act as well. And by golly, we're already heading to the other end of the floor with the Bison shooting some 1-and-1s. That is the 7th Coyote foul in the first 6 minutes of the game. Powell missing the front end of the 1-and-1. And there's another bump. This one by Isaiah Dennis. And it'll be the first on Dennis. Gilchrist to put it in play. To Robertson and then back to Gilchrist. That is Giddens' 4-3. Jamichi Humphrey in for the Bison. Jones lays it up and in, ties it up at 19. Down the floor to Mensah. And a little tumble by Humphrey. And apparently Gray Williams, the reason he fouled. So Humphrey to the line, Giddens coming out of the game. In for the Coyotes is Deshaun Hyman. And Davis will re-enter the game for the Bison with Mensah going out. Bison 11-7 overall. Coyotes are 8-6. But as far as the conference is concerned and the teams getting to the University of Alabama at Huntsville, where D1 will play their conference tournament, we've got a lot of conference basketball between now and then. Nobody out of it this early. And definitely not these high-scoring Coyotes. The steal, Hyman able to get a piece of it on the shot by Powell. The follow-up, though, good. Into the corner to Robertson as he got another 3 in him off the iron. And a foul on the floor. Well, I did basketball last night in Georgia until late because of the length of the games. First game tonight for the ladies took a while, and based on the number of fouls in this one, we might be here a bit for the Coyotes and Bison. Williams in the paint. Loose ball picked up by Jones. Back it goes to Gilchrist. Able to claw his way through a few Bison. Misses the shot. Powell with the rebound. Into the corner, but apparently the heel of Bradley Pearson was standing out of bounds. Jack Robertson Arena. Here on the campus of Coastal Alabama South, there was a foul called on Humphrey. We're not quite 8 minutes into the game and already have 13 fouls. And there is the 14th. It'll be charged to Davis, his first. Given to Robertson, back to Gilchrist. Well, how about another foul? Yeah, that has got Gray Williams at the strike. A 75% free throw shooter. Averaging a couple of points a game. This is a 71% free throw shooting Coastal South squad. He'll get both. Turn it into a 2-point game. And those foul totals now at 15. And I think we had a shot clock issue. So play stopped and a couple of seconds taken off the shot clock. Trayon Palmer has now come in for the Bison. Palmer with a baseline move and the offensive as well. So now both teams with 8 infractions each. And that's going to bring us to the media timeout at the 11:56 mark. Just about as many fouls as points in a 23-21 game.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, coyotes. That's the pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
Enjoying their music and their basketball here at the Jack Robertson Arena. Coastal Alabama South, where the Coyotes are 4-3 this year. Against Alabama teams 2-2, both divisions included. And if you want how they fared on Thursdays 1-2 on the season thus far. Robertson to Gilchrist. Fires it down low, had the target open, Hyman, but led him by just a little too much. Beam back into the game, and out goes Powell for the Bison. Williams will come back into the game, and Robertson out for the Coyotes. Pearson giving it back over to Davis. And there's another offensive. This one will be on Davis. "17 fouls, 44 points. Gilchrist to Williams. That is Giddens putting up the three off the rim. Rebounded by Jones. And there is foul number 18. It is charged to Pearson. And that puts Mekhi Jones at the free throw line. Already into the double bonus. With 11:05 still to go in the half. Jones hitting both. Off the glass for Humphrey. Joe Brown back into the game, giving it to Gilchrist. And Brown putting up the three. Too long. Pearson with a rebound. Mensah to Beam. Beam in the paint. And he will expand the Southern Union lead to 5. Still not halfway through the half. Giddens over into the corner. Gilchrist swatted away by Beam. That is 4 Beam blocks in the half. And Gilchrist to put it in play from the baseline does to Williams. Giddens for 3. He's got another. Giddens the number 4 scorer in the conference, averaging 16 per. Williams with a rebound. He wants another. Off the rim. Tracked down by Darrell Stewart. Now in. Stewart sending it to Mensah. Mensah spinning around Giddens. Fires down low. Beam with it. And Beam drew the push. So Beam trying to create a little more separation. Instead, it stays a 2-point game. Tossed over to Jones. Jones for 3. He will nail it. And the Coyotes by 1. Stewart to Mensah. Back it goes to Stewart. Works it to the timeline. Gives to Mensah. Davis shooting from the stripe. And the lead still 1, but now belongs to the Bison. Gilchrist nearly had it taken away, able to get it back. Jones to Williams. Williams in the paint. Gilchrist for 3. Off the iron. Tipped out to Stewart. Davis with a lay-in. Jones losing it. Mensah's got it. That is Stewart. Back to Mensah. And Mensah the bucket and the foul tossed in as well. And that's got us to another media timeout at the 7:48 mark here in half number one. Just about all white. Jones County diving catches shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. That is how you do it. You're going to come watch basketball. You got to bring along the pizza. There's a box. Yeah, right there. This isn't just a piece of pizza. They've come prepared. They brought the whole box. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trying to grow the community. And what helps is your citizenship. Okay. You know, I'm doing the city analogy. No citizenship, just need a subscriber. Retrieved in the corner by Williams, who is checked back into the game. Brown over to Giddens. But that subscribe button's got to be close by. So all it takes is a click. Gives you access to everything we're doing. Games, shows, interviews. Even some you decides. You know, some controversial, close, questionable plays. Get your input. Mensah, speaking of input. Turning it into a 35-30 game. And yeah, we've got a goal trying to get to 5,600 subscribers. Need about 93 more. I think we're at 5,507. Well, let's see who goes to the stripe. A pile of humanity wound up underneath the hoop for the Bison. And it looks like it's going to be Davis. By the way, thanks to Jason Thompson. I think he has covered the last maybe 3 games here. I don't know that I've been here since maybe November. Had games elsewhere. Thank you very much, Jason. And he will be, I think, in Bay Minette on the, darn, I can't remember what day it is. Maybe something like the 29th for baseball. Lost in the paint, Beam touched it, but Giddens grabs it. Laid up, laid in by Quentin Odom. Odom has the best field goal percentage shooting in the ACCC Division I. 75% of his floor shots go in. Give it to Odom again. Another beam rejection, but Giddens with the putback. That is at least 5 blocks for Beam in the game. Beam spins, Odom commits the foul. So Beam to the stripe with just a little bit over 5 left in the game. I make that in the first half. Got an entire second half coming up, by the way, too. At halftime, we talked with the president of Coastal Alabama South. So check out that conversation coming up at halftime. A 4-point lead for the Bison. And I mentioned in the ladies game, I'm not sure if high school sports is picking up our feed tonight or not. I don't know. We and they work together often. We'll be, as Odom jams it in, we will have the feed from Wadley, Alabama when these two teams meet again in February. Stolen away by Jones. Wow, Odom got the crowd on its feet. Another steal, Jones again. Tennis with it going the other way. Trying to quieten the crowd and slow down the Coyotes, who have tied it up at 40. Gidden. And the Coyotes lead it by 3. What a run by the Coyotes. They explode. Turn a 4-point deficit into a 3-point lead. 4:03 away from halftime.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
.403 from halftime. Mensa will lay it in, coming out of the timeout. A 1-point Coyote lead. 3:39 to go in the half. Giddens fades and fires. There are a bunch of Coyotes on fire tonight. Giddens one of them. Davis backing it out, hits the reset button. Give goes to Jonigan, who is back into the game. Davis with a jumper. Well, you got a couple of teams that score 80 plus, 84 a night for the Coyotes, 80 a night for Southern Union. So 164 points for the two teams combined. Odom gets slapped. By the way, I think I was right in the middle of my spiel on high school sports when Odom ignited a fire. But we do some work with him, they with us. Great folks to work with, Adam Slay and Company. So they might be picking up our feed tonight. If they are, and you're watching through high school sports, thanks for watching. And JockJive viewers, in February when the game is played in Wadley, we'll have it on our site as well. Compliments of Adam and Company. A 3-point game, inside 3 to go, half one. Top of the key, Davis. Mensa down low, Brown defending, cuts off the baseline. Dennis able to keep it and bring it into the paint, trying to bank it. That'll be tipped out of bounds by Williams. And the Bison will keep possession. Davis putting it in play. Jonigan tipped by Robertson in for the Coyotes, but retrieved by Dennis. Dennis with a miss. Mensa back over, it goes to Dennis. Inside the beam, he's been formidable down low, but Williams defends. Williams with a putback off the miss by Gilchrist. And the Coyotes go out in front by 5. Wide open Mensa. Somebody missed their assignment for the Coyotes, and that's got Robbie Robertson a little upset on the opposite side of the floor. Well, the same thing happened on the other end. And I guess that's got Coach Brown upset now on the Southern Union side of Jack Robertson. Well, didn't I say these teams do so many things similar? Of course, I didn't know it was going to come down to a very play that was similar on back-to-back possessions. Jones to Williams. Robertson in the corner. Short on the 3 try. Beam's got it. Goes over to Davis. Put back from Davis. Off the miss by Jonigan. Jones on the other end of the floor. Jonigan airball on the 3. Gilchrist has got it. Goes to Jones. Lays it up. Lays it in. And both teams on a pace to put 100 on the board tonight. Davis short, and the Coyotes will take a 5-point lead into the locker room at halftime. Well, it is halftime, and we have been entertained to the tune of 105 first half points. That conversation with Dr. Milner, the president of South Georgia Tech, make that of Coastal Alabama South. in South Georgia Tech last night. The president here at Coastal Alabama South, Dr. Milner. He's our halftime feature. Great to have with us at halftime and Dr. Aaron Milner, who is the president at all of the Coastal Alabamas. Dr. Milner, how are you?
Great. Really appreciate you having us on.
It is a pleasure to have you on. First opportunity to chat with you. And the first thing I always like to do in those first conversations is get a little bio on you, a little background. Where did you start from an academic perspective? What eventually got you into academics and specifically got you to Coastal Alabama?
Well, I'm an example of life's journey that sometimes if you want God to laugh, tell him your plans, so to speak. But I started as a middle school teacher and coach back in the mid-'90s, and was in Eufaula, Alabama, and worked my way from there to becoming a teacher and assistant coach at Eufaula High School. From there, I went back to my hometown in Enterprise, Alabama, where I was again a coach and a teacher, and ended up either being recruited or going into administration, and went into administration as an assistant principal. Kind of rose up the ranks to principal, and then to superintendent, and then one day received a call from the board member in Saraland City Schools, and moved to Saraland, and we had great success as a team in all facets, from the athletics to the liberal arts to academics, and in our facilities at Saraland City Schools, and would like to believe that was something that caught the eye of the chancellor of the two-year system, Mr. Baker, and ended up, I expressed interest in this position when it came open, and was fortunate to be selected by Mr. Baker and the Board of Trustees to lead Coastal Alabama Community College into this next chapter.
Let's go all the way back to where you were in college, getting educated for the vocation that you felt like you wanted to travel. Did you ever see yourself as the president of a junior college when you were just leaving, let's say, college to join the workforce? Absolutely not.
And I share that with young people often, keep your dreams wide open. And when I say young people, I mean I've had the great opportunity to address a lot of our students here at Coastal. Excuse me. And I tell them, keep an open mind, because you never know the opportunities that are going to be presented to you. I was a big athletics guy, and wasn't a very good player, I didn't think, but I had the ambitions of being a coach and being a teacher, and I still admire our classroom teachers, our instructors. Those are the boots on the ground, and love doing that. But was at the University of Alabama, and had a great friend network, and 3 of us ended up going into school administration. One is deceased, but was the former president of Enterprise State Community College, and then another one is now assistant state superintendent of education, and we all look at each other now, with the exclusion of Matt, of course, but our friend group's kind of like, how did this happen? But I've tried to approach things with a servant's heart, and just want to really be in this role to see the lives of our students, that they have the opportunity to lead a better life through their experience at Coastal Alabama Community College.
What athletic or what sport did you coach?
I'd like to say I coached football, and and I was a head baseball coach for a year, an assistant baseball coach for a year. I was always an assistant football coach, but I was a 5A and 6A level, so it was a decent, we're pretty quality programs. And then I was asked to coach. I was an assistant basketball coach and a head girls basketball coach, and I don't know how much I coached them. I tried real hard, but I was filling in that spot and was passionate about it, but tried to give my best whenever I fulfilled those roles.
When I think of Coastal Alabama, I'm involved from the athletic perspective. So I'm looking at North and South that have got athletic programs. But Coastal Alabama is far more expansive than just Bay Minette and Bruton and Monroeville, is it not?
No doubt. We serve 20% of the entire state of Alabama. We have the largest footprint, if you look at landmass, of all of Alabama's 24 community colleges. So it takes us from our campus at Gilbertown all the way to our campus at Gulf Shores. We have a campus in Mobile County at Brookley Field, where it's at the site of the Mobile Airplex Airport. And we teach airframe power plant. When you fly in a plane, that plane's engine may have been broken down and rebuilt by a graduate of Coastal Alabama Community College. Our Thomasville campus is just booming. It has everything from academics to, we serve the multiple plants up and down Highway 43 and making sure that we have quality employees for them. Our Atmore campus is bustling right there on the interstate as well, and we serve various trades, but also our academic courses that are offered there are helping students go to a 4-year school, or they can go into one of our trade programs such as HVAC, heating and cooling, to our nursing and allied health programs. And those students are able to go 2 years and are pretty much 100% of those students get a job when they leave our program. So, sky's the limit. Gulf Shores, our culinary program, students are finishing there and immediately going to a job working for a restaurant along the coast. So it's just, it's very rewarding for me to go into these communities and witness the impact that our instructors are having in those communities. We like to say that we play a major role in fueling Southwest Alabama's workforce through all of our various programs. And so we're just consider ourselves blessed to be able to have that type of impact.
I don't think there is a leader of any organization that is successful that doesn't go into a job with, hey, here's some things I would like to do. And once in that job, set additional goals. So take us through some of the things when you came on board that you wanted to see happen and things that you'd like to see further down the road for Coastal Alabama.
Well, I'll start with something that's pretty obvious, but our facilities, we've already, and some things, most people don't look at it and go, wow, but when you think about it, the necessities are very important. And so, for example, we've already re-roofed in 1 year 75% of our Bruton campus. It has a new roof throughout. We're remodeling the auditorium performing arts center in Bruton for our liberal arts programs. We've re-landscaped throughout our campuses and made it where when you're a student and you walk up, or if you're a parent and you walk up with your student for the first time, you want to say, well, that's an appealing place. That's somewhere where I want my child to go. If it's something that's old and and drabby and that kind of thing. We don't want to necessarily send our child there, and later in life, we don't want to go somewhere that isn't modern and that type of thing. We're trying to improve the technological opportunities for all of our students and our instructors to be able to make it where our instructors are teaching in a way that will aid our students when they enter the workforce, kind of enter the real world, so to speak. So all of those things, the biggest thing though I would say is we're trying to make a culture in Coastal Alabama Community College, and I get funny looks about this thing sometimes, but I'll often get the question, what's the most important thing that we do? Well, really, we do so much that we have to make everything important. If it's our athletic programs, we want to be able to say that we're doing the very best we can in our athletic programs and what we're providing there. If it's our academic programs, we want to provide the best instruction we possibly can. If it's the appearance of our facilities, we want it to be the best that it can be. So creating a culture top to bottom of excellence, frankly. Now we're not there by any stretch of the imagination. I want to make that clear, and probably during my time, I'll never feel like we got there, but we're going to always strive to do that. And we're seeing those changes take place. Athletics wise, facilities wise, we're doing some great things. Monroeville, we've completely renovated our softball facility. It's being redone or been upgraded, redone, new painting. It's had a total makeover, so to speak. In addition, we've resurfaced our tennis courts. We're getting ready to put a new roof on our gymnasium and prospectively a new gym floor just at Monroeville alone. At our Bruton campus, we're putting up a new grandstand for baseball, new restrooms for baseball, and we're getting ready to do some remodeling in our baseball locker room. And then at Bay Minette, we're taking on a major project in a new softball and baseball locker room that will be connected to a covered open air, so to speak, hitting facility, but it's going to be state of the art. It's going to have meeting areas, training room for our athletes. And on top of that, and I know you've seen it, our newly remodeled gym that we have. I bring those up just to kind of the standard we're trying to set throughout our footprint of all the things that we're doing. At Fairhope, we've taken on new advising centers that have been recently constructed, or center that's been constructed, and then a new parking area that's been redone that's going to really assist the campus. So just across the board throughout our footprint, the challenge I have is what you've already alluded to, 8 campuses throughout, and trying to provide that balance while showing each of those communities our concern and care that we want to be able to educate anyone in their community in a first-class facility. It just comes to my mind, Thomasville, we just did a major re-landscaping project there that's completely changed the way the facility looks, and we remodeled what we call the Tom Bigby Room, which is a large conference center type area that's used by organizations throughout Southwest Alabama. So there's a lot going on, as you can tell, and but we're very proud of it.
I wish we may have to ask the folks to extend halftime, or we'll just have to do this again. We have run out of time, but man, it has been great talking with you. I love Coastal Alabama and the progressive mindset there, and you as the leader initiate that. Thanks so much, Dr. Milner, for being our halftime guest.
Thank you. And lastly, I'd just like to express my appreciation to all of our coaches for the effort they put forth in not only competing, but also producing quality young men and women. So I'm so proud of the job they're doing.
Thank you, Dr. Milner.
Thank you.
And thanks again to Dr. Milner for the opportunity to have the conversation with the president at Coastal Alabama South. Hope it's not the last time we have a sit down. So much more to talk about. But thank you very much for all the info packed into 15 minutes at halftime. Jonathan Davis, Beam, Dennis, Mensah on the floor to begin half number 2 for the Bison. That is the same 5 that started the game. And likewise for the Coyotes. Same 5 to begin half 1 and 2. Giddens, Williams, Bracco, Brown, and Gilchrist. Given to Dennis, and Dennis lays it up and in. And you've had 2 Bison possessions and the 5-point halftime lead erased. Whipped over to Brown. And he'll throw it into the hands of Davis. Mensah. Fouled by Gilchrist. Brought in from the baseline. In a 55-55 game with obviously a heck of a lot of time left. Mensah, and the first 7 points of the second half belonging to the Bison. Gilchrist tipped out. Bracco not able to get there. Jonigan falls down, and it will be Coyote basketball. And you might can tell by the facial expression of one Coach Brown. He thought there was a trip. You saw that body language. Felt like Bracco tripped Jonigan. The officials did not see it that way. Dennis whips it to Mensah. Davis drives, trying to get the reverse. Got the foul. And we shall see how he fares at the line. Both of these teams on a pace to get them to 100, which both teams have done twice this year. Most points in a single game by the Coyotes, the 111 against Mobile's JV. And the Bison have put 102 on the board twice against Calhoun and Wallace Selma. Coyotes still looking for their first second half field goal. Gilchrist for 3. Off the rim, Bracco with it. Gilchrist, nice feed, and fouled is Williams. Stephen Williams, if my memory serves me correctly, which it so seldom does, no reason to believe it is correct at this juncture based on my historical data, but this, I think, is either the first trip period to the line for Williams or the first of a very few trips to the stripe. Mensah putting up the 3. A little reminiscent of the second quarter of the ladies' game. After a torrid first quarter for the Lady Coyotes, they just went ice cold. And right now you're looking at a Coyote squad that has yet to hit a field goal in half number 2. Those Stephen Williams free throws are the only points thus far. Williams lost it, got it back, and there is your first of the half. Dennis to Davis to Jonigan. And wow, they're hitting everything here early in half number 2. Brown with a miss. Off beam and out of bounds. Gilchrist to put it in play from the baseline. A 9-point lead, and in the span of just 4 minutes in the second half, you've seen a swing of 14 points. Coyotes with a 5-point lead at the half, and now at the 16:07 mark, it is the Bison with a 9-point advantage. I mentioned earlier the top offensive performances of the year for these two teams. Their worst offensive performance, which won't be matched tonight by either team. The Coyotes 58 against Pearl River. And it is all dropping in right now for the Bison. Southern Union had a 52-point performance in the Northwest Florida State game. Giddens off the mark, rebounded by Dennis. And Minso will draw the foul. And that will take us to the media timeout. Oh, to have a microphone in this huddle with 15:38 to play.
When you're starting something new, it's never easy. You're going to make mistakes. You'll doubt yourself. But you're in a place that wants you to succeed, thrive. And soon, it will just start to feel right. Suddenly, you'll get it. Your fear will turn to confidence. First-time tasks become second nature. And what seemed impossible is right in front of your eyes. Because once the light bulb goes on, there's no turning back. You may wonder how you got here, and be glad you did. That's coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Minsa making his first of 2 coming out of the timeout. Goes 1 for 2. Williams with the rebound off the miss. Off the rim for Giddens. Beam with it. No substitutions thus far for the Bison in half number 2, whereas you had a substitution just about 90 seconds into the first half. Coach not wanting to mess with the formula that has been on fire here in the second half. Coyotes sticking Mekhi Jones in, coming out of the timeout. Joe Brown on the sidelines. Jones drives and lays it in. And the Coyotes nowhere near out of this game. With still 15 minutes to go, Beam misfiring over Williams. Giddens with it. Thrown back onto the floor by Jones. Giddens dropping in the 3. It is a 7-point game. Fed down low, Mensah. Gilchrist bringing it in the corner. Bracco with it. Bracco limited first half minutes after picking up 3 fouls in about the first 4 minutes of the game. Laid in easily by Davis. And that has got a couple of Coyotes to the scorer's table, ready to come in. Odom and Robertson. Bracco from the corner, and he'll hit the 3. That is Dennis dipping the 3 in and out. Mensah, 2 opportunities down low. Made good on the last of the 2. And more personnel joining Odom and Robertson at the scorer's table. Now Robertson has Brown by his side. Jones will draw the foul. So a trio of Coyotes coming in. And now Brown's gone back to his spot on the bench. And neither Robertson or Odom in yet. Both will come in after the first Jones free throw. Giddens and Williams going out. And now the Bison will make their first substitution of the half. Powell coming in and Beam going out. Jones makes it an 8-point game. Into the paint. Powell to Davis to Dennis. And it's tipped out of bounds by Gilchrist. Bison keep it. In play to Davis. Dennis with it. Robertson defending. Lob to Mensah. Into the paint. Powell off the window. Off the glass for Gilchrist. And it is back to an 8-point contest. Jonigan heading into Mensah. Mensah left side into the paint to Powell, and Powell the offensive foul. And that will bring us to another media timeout. The second of 4 in half number 2. Coyotes down by 8.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Inside 12 to play. Gilchrist leaving something important behind, but able to go back and get it. The basketball, Bracco back over to Gilchrist. Moves it down low to Jones, and Jones gets rim window and 2. Turns it into a 6-point game. Mensah, rebounded by Gilchrist. Out to Jones. Jones makes it a 4-point contest. So have the Coyotes weathered the storm and getting back in. That's Davis. Well, if these teams do what they typically do on any given night, you got about 164 combined points on the board. Bracco with a miss. I think we're going to exceed that. Already between the two, 158. Little moisture to get off the floor. Hey, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you don't mind. Not a demand, a request, not mandatory. But you get access to shows, interviews, games. Got a clip from this game posted, too. It was a long 2. Back to a 4-point game. That Quindonum slam from the first half. Jonigan again pushing it back out to 6. Jones will get fouled. Jones, a Crestview product. I've mentioned this before. My alma mater. Little, distance, little time frame between when he graduated and I graduated. Okay, maybe not little, maybe more like a lot. Back in my early radio days and early sports days, Crestview had a pretty good team. Had the likes of Tom Hammonds, who went on to play in the NBA. Joe and Pat Lawrence, who both played at the University of Florida. Kenny Seiler at Southern Miss, who, by the way, were all on the same team back in the day. Laid up and in by Mensah. Now, granted, I am not nearly as familiar with Crestview basketball as I was then, as Jones puts it up and in, but if Jones is an indication of what's still at Crestview, it's pretty darn good. Down the beam, and that's an easy 2 for Beam. Robertson was like, why try? Why commit the foul? He's going to score anyway. You pick your battles. 88-82 game. Gilchrist with an opportunity to turn it into a 4-point game again. One of 2 goes Gilchrist. Johnigan to Pearson, who is checked into the game. That is Bradley Pearson for the Bison. Johnigan for 3. And there is an offensive foul down low. Beam, I think, was trying to clear out the lane. Nope, that is going to be Mensah who committed the foul. And that has got us shooting the 1-and-1. Williams back in. Giddens will go out for the Coyotes. It is a 3-point contest. Ball on hip out front for Humphrey. Pearson to Beam. Beam short, Bracco the board. Gilchrist with a drive, tipped it back onto the floor, but into the hands of Humphrey. And as Pearson lays it up and in and drew the Jones foul. And how about the third of 4 second half media timeouts? We'll do that now with 7:47 to play.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
Yeah, this isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Pearson trying to cap off the three. And the guy with the rebounds, the guy that put him at the stripe, Jones. Given to Williams. Back to Jones. And he'll go to the line with a three-point play opportunity and a chance to make it a two-point game. Still 3 points separating the Bison and the Coyotes. Give it over to John again. And that is Mensah. Got a blocking foul. And that is going to be charged to Bracco and become his fourth. Well, it is his fourth foul, but it's his first since about the 16-minute mark in the first half. Gilchrist tripped up from the backside by Humphreys. And now it is Gilchrist shooting. Rebounded by Mensah. Humphreys headed to the other end of the floor as we get inside 7 to go. Mensah giving it a look and then tosses to Pearson. Down low to Beam. Beam off the glass and window. Mensah tries to tip it. It'll go out of bounds and last touch to Coyote. Gray Williams, David Giddens in, Bracco and Robertson out for the Coyotes. Coyotes trying to win their first conference game of the year. Bison trying to stay unbeaten, knowing that the two unbeatens, Shelton and Wallace Hansville, play tonight. Both teams on a pace to hit triple digits. Gilchrist feeds it to Williams. Beam with a board. Gets it to Jonigan. Humphreys back over to Jonigan. Minson backing it back out. Hitting the reset button for the Bison. Pearson leaning in, left-handed shot, not there. Williams able to tear it down, gives it over to Jones, who gives to Gilchrist. And you got a Mincer reach. And a couple of Gilchrist free throws. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, we head to Americus, Georgia, East Georgia State, and South Georgia Tech. A noon start for the ladies, and the men will follow. And then on Monday, we're right back here, a little earlier start, 2 o'clock, with Gadsden State coming to town. And there is still, in the forecast for our area on Tuesday and Wednesday, snow. Yes, I did say snow. So that game was originally slated for 2, but now maybe even a better, wiser decision to have a 2 o'clock start with Gadsden on the road and some possible inclement weather later that day. So whoever the decision makers were, maybe they had a premonition. Good job of scheduling. Or maybe it was just happenstance and it all worked out. Giddens putting the Coyotes over the 90-point barrier. Davis to Mensah, Mensah for 2. Laid in by Giddens. Pearson fires it over to Jonigan. Jonigan off the rim, rebounded by Williams. Gives to Gilchrist. Fires it down low. Jones makes it a 98-95 game. Into the paint, Mensah. And Mensah will draw the Gilchrist foul. And that will take us to the last media timeout of the game. 3:22 to play. Still don't know if a Coyote or a Bison is going to take this one. There is the namesake for Jack Robertson Arena. What a legend. And great guy too. I mean, you know, sometimes you have success, tends to travel to the head, he might become a little better than others. Not this guy. Jack Robertson, just a down-to-earth great guy, deserving of a namesake in the arena, and always supportive of what was once the Sun Chiefs and now the Coyotes. And somehow I got a feeling he would be here whether his son was coaching the Coyotes or not. Well, one of the two over the 100 mark. And as I mentioned, I got a feeling the other will get there. Gilchrist with a miss. Beam able to get the rebound. Got a new face on the floor. That is Deshaun Thomas. I don't think we have seen Thomas tonight. But we have now. That is Bracco playing with 4 personals. Fed down to Jones, and Jones makes it a 197 game. Weaving through traffic, Mensah for 2. And that matches the Bison season high at 102 against Calhoun, 102 versus Wallace Selma. Gilchrist has got the Coyotes a point away from 100. Thomas bringing it down low. Rebounded by Williams. Gives over to Giddens. Coyotes could tie depending on shot selection. Giddens the miss. Mensah the other way, and there is a foul. That'll be charged to Gilchrist. Mensah came into the ballgame as the number 5 scorer in the ACCC, 15 a game. Hasn't done anything tonight to hurt that average, nor that standing. Gilchrist spins, and it was tipped out of bounds by the Bison. Timeout on the floor, Coyotes trying to avoid an 0-3 start in conference play. And got a minute to come back from 5. Just about all white. Jones County diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski.
There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Less than a minute to go. Coyotes down by a pair of possessions. Giddens splashing in the three. .104, 102. Jonigan. Davis, Beam couldn't hang on. Coyotes with a basketball. In play to Gilchrist. And you got a Coyote timeout. .104, 102. 17 remaining. .17 seconds to go. 104, 102. And the Coyotes with possession. And a chance to either tie or take the lead. So the strategy is it to score, tie it, send it to OT, or win it. Not give them time for anything, or not. Team wraps it up. That's your ball game, I think. And it is. It's final. It is 104, 102. And one of a heck of a game. 206 points between the two. Well, for the Coyotes, a slow start to conference play, but I assure you, they will be in the thick of things come the end of the year. Southern Union in the thick of things here at the beginning of the year. Go to 3-0 in the conference. 3-0 and 12-7. Coyotes 0-3 and 8-7. And we wrapped up 2 from the Jack Robertson Arena. We'll see you Saturday in Georgia, Monday right back here. Thanks so much for watching. For all the folks with Coastal Alabama and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.